don't mind the music. I'm just checking on my songs there at least. But I think I'm back to my old self. Back the way I was in ninth grade. Because the reason I say that is because the way I used to. One noticeable thing right off the bat of this video was my hairstyle. The way I used to have it, and the way I have it now is back to the way it was in ninth grade when I had long hair. Still. But thing is, there's a lot of people who have made videos and made remarks saying, oh, you can change back into this person. And on a more relationship type note, people are saying, oh, you can get back to that boy that girl fell in love with, that you evolved to not be that guy, but you can go back to being that guy. As much as I want to believe that, I think that metaphor has been taken to a lot of people in a literal standpoint, in a literal sense, too much. I think that metaphor is not meant to be that literal. Like, in a way, it kind of says some truth, but, you know, going through life, people change. So, since I love music a lot, to a point where I even started trying to make it my thing, I'm gonna put this in a sense of, okay, so Dirt Road Anthem Revisited. Brantley Gilbert says, in life you go through hell, there's got to be a point where you gotta slow down. That's what we're doing now. In life you do go through hell. You really do. But I think I want to, kind of elaborate a little bit on just that part. And then I'll go to there comes a point where you gotta slow down. But before that, he says, my dad taught me how to stand my ground, be a man, boy, never back down. Don't start somebody's talking shit. You better throw the first place, whoop his ass. That's talking about standing up for yourself. Life stuff you go through. Life is stuff you do go through hell. People change. I'm elaborate a little bit on that. Life is like a maze that is very long, and eventually you'll get to the end of it. And a little standpoint, the end is death. When you die and you go up to stairway to heaven, you're at the end of the maze. But this maze, you just keep taking turns and turns and turns and turns, and you keep going into dead ends. And you think there is no exit to this maze. And every time you try to go back, you lose your way. You come to a new dead end, or one that you might already know, and you lose your way. Now, that being said, what I'm trying to say is, no matter how hard you try to go back to being somebody you once were, you can't fully ever be that person again. Not fully. Because I'm gonna put this in a perspective of my situation. 2017, 16, the end of 16, summer of 16. Me and Cheshire get together, right? I know y'all are tired of hearing me talk about this, but I promise this is not going there, alright? But anyway, we got together, right? Skip 2019, the end of 2019, we broke up, right? Now, ever since that, I've been trying to figure out why we broke up, what what's going what's going on. Like, is she what the reasons she gave me, are they even true, or the reasons that I came up with, which I'm gonna make a video on that also, on the reasons that she gave and the reasons I gave, but the reasons I gave even reasonable. And then through all this, I've been trying to evolve back into the guy that she fell in love with, that I was at the time that I met her, and the time that we actually started dating. And I kind of did back up a little bit, but like I said, you can't fully ever be that person again. I've gained so much more, I don't want to say popularity, I'm gonna make up a word. I gained a lot more noticeability. Like, I got noticed by a lot more people at school from stuff that I did that I would have never done if I was still with her. Because at the point that I was with her, nobody else really mattered to me. Because when I was with her, the relationship was so good that nothing else mattered. When I talked to her, that was a highlight of every single day. And it was just that certain point in the day where I was basically rushing through the day just to get to that point. Like, you know how, like, you go through a day and it seems like it went really fast, but it's just because you've been moving all day, just, getting it. That's basically what I did every day, and I would slow down to the normal time when I finally got to talk to her, because I wanted to stay in that moment, just talking to her every single second of every single day. Didn't want it to end. We would stay on the phone right until the second she had to go to bed. Unfortunately, it ended, and there's a line of one of my songs that says, "I wish it didn't end the way it did, but I guess all good things shall come to the end, and I guess good guys do finish last." And I know a lot of people that are going to hear that line are going to relate a lot, and some people are like, damn, he spoke facts right there. He spoke truth. I have a lot of songs that might not make sense to a lot of people, might not be heartfelt to a lot of people, because they've never been in my position that I was in when I wrote that song. See, these country singers that are out right now, these new country singers, I'm not talking about Morgan Wallen. He's one that I actually like. There's a lot of these new country singers I like. I'm talking about Kane Brown and all them, that era, Luke Bryan, that era. Their songs, it's not country. I'm sorry, but for those of you who think it is, you could have your own opinion, but I'm here to tell you, fact. It's a fact. It's not, in my opinion. The fact is, it's not country. There's a difference between country and new country. Which, new country has two names. It's called new country and pop country. And country has two names: real country and country. You want to know what real country music is? Go listen to Waylon Jennings, Hank Williams Jr., Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, Keith Whitley, all of them. Hank Williams Sr. Let's take it way back. Loretta Lynn, Tim Wynette, George Jones, the king of country music, George Jones, Alan Jackson, George Strait. Listen to all them. Listen to June and Johnny and June Carter. Listen to Call Me Twitty and Loretta Lynn. Listen to them if you want to really know what real country is. Now, that being said, I'm not saying that I'm on their level, because I know I got a long way to go before I even get to even close to what they accomplished. And some of them are still alive and still making music. Like Henry Williams Jr. is still alive and he's still making music. Alan Jackson is still making music. George Strait still making music. George Jones unfortunately passed in 2018. I think it was 2018. Johnny Cash died in 2003. Hank Sr., he passed in 1953. Now, yeah, I'm not saying I'm on their level. I'm getting along with. I don't even know if I could accomplish what they accomplish. I might not ever get on their level. My music is written like real country music should be written and was written. Real country music is not only about the beat that you use, or let me use a more country term. It's not about the instrumental and the instruments you use. It's more so about the lyrics and what they mean and how they touch certain people. I write about what I've been through and what I see and what goes on in my life. So each song you hear from me, each song that you listen to from me, you're getting a little spigot of my life from a day-to-day basis. I think. Hold on. This might be.
This is probably the hardest song. This one, nothing new. So.
Let's listen to this for a minute.
My best work. When I opened up my eyes, it felt different for the first time. In a long time, I see the sunshine warming in my skin. Maybe this is a sign that things are looking up on me. But once.
Right there. When I opened up my eyes, I saw the sun for the first time. It felt different this time. The sun was warming up my skin. Maybe this is a sign that things are going to start looking up for once in my life. It's talking about going through depression and coming out of it.
This time you can't hold my thoughts anymore, 'cause the sunshine will wash you away. 'Cause the beat goes on, things happen in life. For me, another day goes by, another night burns bright. I'm back to myself, feeling like myself again. Gotta stop and pretty good to shot me away, making me think I got a shot of love. Yeah.
The song is called "The Beat Goes On," and the chorus speaks a lot of truth right there. But the potential you have to know exactly what message that's sending. I'm speaking like I'm a pro songwriter, and I'm not. But the message that the chorus is sending. The beat goes on, things happen in life. Talking about life gets tough. For me, another day goes by, another night burns bright. Talking about the day goes by like it normally does, but when the night comes, I'm basically lighting up. Not mean, smoking. Not necessarily that. Just, going through the storm and, doing things to. I never smoked, right? But basically just going through the storm, trying things and doing things to try and ease the pain a little bit. And this is, I'm back to myself. I feel like myself again. I got my smile back. Really, the verse should end there and say, and the beat goes on. But that was at a time where I felt like I was actually starting to pull myself out of the suicidal depression stage that I was in. And when I was pulling myself out, that's basically because I knew that if I tried hard enough. Now, graduation takes a lot of stress off of you. But graduation was getting closer. I knew if I could just tough it out for that 4 to 9 weeks, I could graduate. And I did graduate. Barely, but I did. But I just felt like I was pulling myself out of that deep, dark place I was in. That just knew if I just kept pulling and kept pulling and kept pulling, kept climbing, pulling on that rope, climbing up that wall, whatever I was doing, whatever I had to do, if I just kept pushing myself and determined to get out of that place, I could. And finally, graduation day, I climbed out of that hole and I got my life straight a little bit. And now I'm currently working on the rest of it. There's so many problems that's been fixed. I want to say if I quit drinking completely, I'm down to where I just drink one a night, just to, wind me down and help me get some sleep. But if I could just stop it altogether and go to sleep naturally, I want to say that it would, fix everything else. But I don't believe that. But anyway, I'm going to explain why I said the chorus should stop there. Because that last line is, the pretty girl just shot me away, making me think I got a chance at love. Yeah. And the beat goes on. At that time, I kind of just implemented what was happening in that moment into the song that really didn't go with the rest of the song. That one part didn't go with the rest of the song. And I was like, it's just one part. I'll just put it in here because I didn't know what else to put into that. See, I do a 787 platform 787 787 writing form when I write my songs, like verse 7, chorus 8, verse 7, which means 7 lines for each verse, 8 lines for each chorus. And it's called the 7/8, not a 78. It's called the 7/8 form. But I say 7/8/7 because I usually just do 2 verses of 1 chorus on paper. But when I sing, if the beat kicks back up after the second verse, I'll throw that chorus back in there again. I can't do it again. I don't know how I did it the first time. But, yeah, like I said, the beat goes on. Basically saying, life is going to do what life's going to do. And it's going to be this way, and there's nothing you can do about it. It might get better, it might not. It might not change at all. But like I said, Chastity, if you see this, no what? Chastity, if you see this, consider giving me another chance. I know I made some bad choices, and I paid for them, and I'm still paying for them. But I've fixed a lot of them. I really have. Dipping. Yeah, I picked it up, but I was in a place where I didn't really. I lost myself. I admit that I lost myself. I lost myself during the 4 year time period that we'd spent dating each other, and I really wanted more, but at the point of life that I was in, the point of life that you were in, I couldn't really. I couldn't do anything about it. I just thought that if I could make this relationship last long enough to where I got to a point, being 18 years old, if I could just get to where you could get to 18 years old and I could get to 18 years old, once you were 18, I could do something about it. I was told that. I know some of y'all are not going to do this, but if y'all could please shy away from the video now. This is kind of personal. It's not. I'm not really going to expose a lot, but so anyway, it's kind of personal to her, and she told me about it as her boyfriend. But Chastity, I know I've been told that you wanted to get away from all that. You wanted out of the house, and let me jog your memory for a minute. Do you remember this? I wish I could just move out of this house. My sister gets whatever she wants, and I get nothing. She gets treated like a princess, and my parents don't see what I see. They made me feel like I'm nobody. Like they don't love me. And Cashlyn, she knows I'm still upset about, you know. I try to hide it, but I can't. See, I didn't expose what you were upset about, so don't get mad at me. I'm not really exposing anything. Just saying you were going through some stuff, and now I don't know if that had something to do with us splitting, but if that was the case, then what's preventing us from getting back together now? That is the question that everybody's asking. And as your boyfriend, I'm supposed to help you overcome that and get through it. And I can't do that if I'm not your boyfriend. I really... I never played anybody. I've never cheated. I never led anybody on. I never lied to... Let me back up. I did lie to Bailey a lot. But it was kind of my way of getting back at her, knowing she was cheating. But it was kind of my way of kind of trying to let her know. Like, if I lied to her, I would make it in a sense that, you know, if a normal person could tell that I was lying straight off the bat. She thought everything I said was true. Because she was too busy focusing on whoever else she was messing around with instead of what I was actually saying. I don't think she ever listened to a single word I ever said. And I'm going to go through my theories also. My number one theory of what's stopping us getting back together, the first one I came up with was Bailey told you something about me that was so terrible and but sounded believable that you don't want me back because of that. And if that's the truth, let me tell you, and all my friends can back me up on this. I could name them, but there's a lot. Bailey is a low down cheater, relationship wise. One, she cheated on me with about 15 other guys. I could name them all. Two, she led me on. She used me for what she could get out of me, and then just left it there. To where we were still dating, that if she found out something she could get out of me, she would try to get it. Three, she lied to me. Took my car and said, I asked her where she was. She said she would be right back. I asked her where she was. She said, oh, I'm with my mom getting gas. So I texted her mom. They didn't even see each other that day. Getting in that relationship was the biggest mistake of my life. Actually, no. It was the second biggest mistake of my life. The biggest mistake of my life was losing you. I should have done something, but done something to keep you with me. There's a song I wrote. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, I should have never lost. Actually, it might be a little on YouTube. Let me check real quick. It might be uploaded. I know the latest one, if that one is uploaded, the one that's oldest before, after that one would be I Still Got Hope. Nope. It's not uploaded. Okay, well, anyway, I Still Got Hope kind of ties into that song, because all my songs tie into one another at some point or another. They might cut off and go down a different road, and then tie into each other going down that story road, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, what everybody will tell you is straight up a lie. And if you don't believe me, ask all my friends. If you want people that were there, that you can ask, that were, these two people were literally in phone calls with me and her. These people were in a phone call, 2 phone calls in one day. I don't even know why I answered the second one, but they were literally in the phone calls. Those 2 phone calls that one day, July 28th, 2020, when we broke up, when me and Bailey broke up, when I broke up with her, because I found every bit of information I needed. I needed her to say, I needed her to admit to one thing, and she did. So, my friend Jay, or Jordan Leonard, and my friend Chris, Black Chris, if for those of you who know him as that, Chris Steins, they were both in the call when she admitted to cheating. This is what she said. Now, before I tell you what she said, there's another dude named Chris that was a white, fat kid. He was 24. She was 18. And she said he's autistic. I don't believe it at all, because he didn't act like it. He didn't even seem autistic. And I even asked him for, when you get diagnosed with autism, you have files and papers that say you have autism. And I asked him if I could see those, I said, can you prove it to me? Like, can you show me files and forms that you have autism? And he said, yeah. Well, guess what? I never saw a single paper or a single file that ever say he had autism. So, I have no reason to believe he does. But anyway, going on, this video is not based on what I originally planned it to be about. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to the point of this video anyway. But anyway, she called me, right? We were talking, having a nice conversation like boyfriend and girlfriend do. We were talking about boyfriend and girlfriend things, and we were talking like we were boyfriend and girlfriend for once. And the reason why I say for once Because that's like maybe the second time we ever talked like we were actually together. And from the first time we talked, like we were actually together, I knew she did something wrong. And she was going to tell me. And I was just hoping and praying that she was actually fixing to admit to it. But what she said shocked me and pissed me off. But I started laughing at it after. Like, soon after, like, the phone call after that with the two guys that I'm about to, that were in the call, Chris Steins and Jordan Leonard, or Jay. That call, after that phone call ended with her, I called them back in the three-way call, and we was all laughing about it. It was perfectly fine. But anyway, I think some of y'all know where this is going. Anyway, she called me and having a nice conversation, like boyfriend girlfriend do, talking about boyfriend girlfriend, saying I love you, exchanging I love yous and how was your day and all this and that. Which she never asked how my day was, never ever before. That was that one day that she ever asked that. I was like, good. And then there was a bit of silence. And I said, something wrong? Which I knew something was wrong. She said, I want to tell you something, but I'm scared you're going to get mad about it. Knowing damn well I was going to get mad about it, I said, I won't get mad, just tell me. She said, well, me and Chris had sex, but I made him use a condom, and I made him get off of me before he cummed. I didn't care if he used a condom or not. I didn't care if he cummed in you, on you, or just did or not. I didn't care about that. The fact is, you were with somebody, me, and you went and had sex with another guy. Not only that, something you said you never did and wouldn't do was a blowjob. That you did that day. And by the way, yes, I'm exposing you. Because I've been holding this back for so long. And if this video actually gets to testy, y'all's little friendship that y'all had, or maybe still have, it's about to be over. It's about to be like it never existed. It's gonna disappear without a trace. And I don't feel bad about it. You caused this. You caused most of my problems. You put me through 8 months of pure hell. In those 8 months, I stared face to face with the devil. I basically said, fuck you to the devil. And who won that fight? You're looking at him. I'm still alive. And that's who my father is. That's who my father is. Not him. I may seem like I'm being an asshole, and I kinda am. But that's because I have no sympathy, remorse, or any feeling for you whatsoever. You put me through what you put me through, and this is what you get. You get that bitter asshole that doesn't give a fuck about anything. This is what you created. And this is what the fuck you're gonna get. And I hope karma catches up with you. I really hope it does. And I know it is. I hope it does it soon. Because it's 2022, February 4th. You should have got your given way before now. And you wonder why you go to North Harbor sometimes. But saying the shit you do to the people you say it to, and doing the shit you do, hitting your parents, hitting your grandma with a fucking steel bat, a steel baseball bat or a wood baseball bat, that's like, even if it was PCP pipe material, you don't fucking do that. There would have never, even if I was like you, which I pray for anybody who is, and I'm not, I'm completely opposite from you. There would never, ever be a time in my mind where I would think about getting a bat and just beating the shit out of my grandma. My grandma's done more for me that I can't even repay her. There's not a single thing I could do to repay her for what she's done for me. She raised me when I was little for most of my life. And it's not like, oh, she raised me just so my parents could, no. I got something out of her raising me. If she wouldn't have taken over, I probably would have been in foster care. And not just, put in foster care by my parents. CPS would have done it. About the situation at the time. We lived decent. Now, I'm not saying that I had a bad childhood. I'm just saying we didn't live, perfect. But we had a decent. I had a good childhood. And I wouldn't change it. But I learned how to work a computer. I learned how to type fast. I learned a lot of stuff internet related from that. And that's the only reason I know how to do that, because other than that, I'm old school. Only reason I have phones, I say phones because I have an iPhone and Android, because I bought this one myself with my own plan, and this one was given to me. I didn't ask for a laptop, a PlayStation, a mini fridge, a TV, all these flags, cowboy hats, all those 20-something hats, a bed that moves, my own room, belt buckles, records, record player, all this stuff that I got that I didn't pay for was given to me. I didn't earn it, but it was given to me anyway. I guess you could call it taking a handout, but I never asked for any of it. No. I know that comes off like I don't appreciate it, but I do. I appreciate it a lot, because basically that's how I stay sane. PlayStation occupies me. Mini fridge, it makes it where I don't have to leave my room. I can just put whatever I need in there and have drinks, food. Of course, if it's in the mini fridge, I gotta go heat it up. But yeah, in the kitchen. But drinks. That and Monster. Which you gotta put some more in there. And of course, now beer. But Cayman Jack's the only thing in there right now, which I could put some Bud Light in there, because I do have that too. But I never asked for a pistol. And for those of you who haven't seen my pistol, I got a little Rough Riders Heritage 22 with hollow points. Oh wait. With hollow points. And that's a millimeter, not or what's it's not Magnum, but it's the other one. I'm blanking right now. But yeah, I didn't ask for any of this. You, on the other hand, Bailey, you didn't expect what you got when you first met me. When I actually started telling you no, you started asking for shit straight off the bat. And starting out, yeah, I give it to you. But once I found out that you were just asking for shit, and finding out that you've been asking for shit your whole life and it's just been given to you, I started saying no, and you didn't expect that to happen. That fucked with your head. I know it did. And then the teenager kicked in. The pity ass snowflake teenager kicked in. You started asking me for money. Now, at the time, I had so much money I didn't know what to do with it. You asked me for $85. I gave it to you because I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't need it. But then, the second time you did it, I didn't even give it to you. Third time you asked it, didn't give it to you. Any other time after that first time, I never gave it to you after that because you were taking handouts. Not only were you taking them, you were asking for them. Now, yeah, I took handouts, but the difference is that was out of courtesy and respect for the people who gave me those things. Few things that I have is what I bought. Like, I think all these flags I bought. That Rebel flag was like $5. That Trump flag was like $5. That Rebel flag Don't Tread on Me flag was $5. That American flag was $5. That Bat the Blue mixed with the American flag was $5. That thin line flag was, I think that was an 8. So 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, $33 is what I spent on all those flags. $783 on this. Now, I want to touch on that. Let me finish this. Slow down. You're taking handouts and asking for them. That's pity. And that's part of being a snowflake, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Your parents didn't raise you right. That's what I'm saying. And it's not really their fault. It's more of you being aggressive, which normal kids don't do. Like, my mom, when I was with you, I didn't see the person I was becoming, but some of the shit I said to my mom, oh my god, if I would have said that and I was, not, if she didn't know why I was doing it, she didn't know that, like, you had that, what's that word I'm looking for? Influence. Yeah, that you had that influence on me. She would have whooped my ass. Bad. To the point to where she made a Snapchat post on her story that said, if you see me beat my child, mind your own damn business. I'm trying to keep from being somebody's bitch. Which basically meant I'm gonna end up in prison. Which I had no sense to not let that happen. But let me
Run Jordan, I'll be right back.
Alright. With that being said, I want to touch on the alcohol abuse and problem. Now, starting out, yeah, I got really, really into it and I was abusing it. But I wasn't abusing it. I didn't let it, get me into trouble. Now, one night, we went to Bryce, and we had natural light seltzers, which I don't like seltzers. Bailey and Chris were drinking white Chris or Buddy. They were drinking. I didn't have a sip because I knew I had to drive out of there. Well, she got naked in the car. After seeing that, I didn't want nothing to do with it. Didn't want it, did not want it. So, she says we have sex, I know I've said it. I know I've said we had sex, but I have had sex, but not with her. Never would I ever try that. Because one, you look at it, and coming from a guy, a teenage guy, when you see that area and you start to, it's gotta be bad. I know a lot of you are probably laughing right now if you've made this far in the video, but alcohol never impacted me in a negative way. It's made me do some things that I wouldn't do sober, but it wasn't bad necessarily. For example, a lot of you are going to remember this because it was screen recorded and posted everywhere. One weekend, I had some Jack with honey. I took 3 shots of it in shot glasses. Had 2 Corona Premieres. And I think that was it. No, I had 3 shots of Jack. I had 3 of each. Well, I was drunk. And being drunk, there's sometimes where you'll be drunk and you won't remember nothing, and there's sometimes where you'll be drunk and do remember everything. This particular night, I remember perfectly. Well, Cyclone by Baby Bash, I believe. Like, you move your body like a cyclone. Makes me wanna do it all night long. Like a cyclone. That song. It's by Baby Bash and T-Pain. T-Pain. Them two. That song was playing. I was shirtless. And how can I say this? I was doing this. But when I was shirtless and I was standing up, so I'm not gonna stand up, but this is something like this. I was doing the cyclone. And at some point I turned around and twerked for like 2 seconds. And I don't know who screen recorded it, how they screen recorded, because as I remember, there was only one person live, and the girl that was in the live, changing stuff, she confirmed that it was only her in the live. Only me and her were in that live. She wasn't live with me, but she was in the chat. And she was like, yes, country boy. Which A lot of people still call me Country Boy because of the Instagram name Country Boy 65, 61. And if you want to go follow my other two accounts, it's Country Boy 6561 Nation and Country Boy 6561 underscore music, which I don't use music a lot. I probably should start posting my music on there. But yeah. Anyway, get back to it. That's pretty much the only thing that really alcohol made me do. But after that, it was screen recorded, posted on Snap everywhere, and I got popularity after that, and that was enough to hold me over. That's all I wanted. I didn't want it when I was doing it, but that's what I got, and then when I got it, I was like, you know what, I kind of like this, I kind of want this. And it kind of died out now, but I kind of wanted it to die out because the popularity I was getting was not what I wanted anymore, because it got to a point where people kept asking me to do it sober. Every time I go live, do it, do it, do it, do it. And for a while I did. And especially when Cheney joined and asked me to do it. I got 246 people on that live. One person joined. Chastity. And I regret that. Really, really bad. I shouldn't have even done it. But Cheney did Donald Trump promise. She said, man, I'll get over 100 people here in that live. She did. Don't know how the hell 246 people joined that quick. But they did. And I think they got Chastity's attention when people started joining and she joined and she saw something that she shouldn't have seen. But Chastity, I promise you, dipping, that dancing. So, I don't got the popularity anymore. I threw it away. I didn't want it. All I want is you. That's all I want. If I lose my friends over it, oh well. If I push my family further away from me to where they just avoid me because of it, oh well. I want you. I don't care about anything else. Yeah, I'm thankful for my friends. I appreciate my friends and everything they do. Like Jackson and Hayden. Hayden stopped me from committing suicide. Jackson stopped me from committing suicide. And that's just the people that did it in person. Over the internet, Carter, Lily, thousands of people that I could, or not thousands, but a lot of people I can name. Several people that I can name. And not only that, you were kind of the reason I didn't ever do it. Because, to tell you the truth, everyone else I thought of, I still would have done it. But I thought of you. I thought of, I'm fighting so hard to get you, and if I just kill myself, all this fighting was for nothing. And if this was working, if I was winning this fight of getting you back, then if I killed myself, I forfeited in a winning standpoint, and I would never get the chance to date you again. I know this is pulling the strings for a lot of people. I know that for a fact. Some of you might be like, no, it's not for me, but there's some people that are. There's some people that are about to shed a tear over this. But alcohol was really the only thing that helped cope with that until I got to a point where I could literally look at myself and appreciate who I am. Like I said, I'm down to where I just drink one a night. If even a night. I might drink one night and not drink one for a couple more nights and then drink one next night after that. Or I might drink one for a couple nights straight and then quit and then go back. I think I'm at a point where I could literally just quit I'm gonna try. I really am. I'm gonna try to strictly no alcohol until I'm legal to drink it. Now, with my suicidal standpoint on that subject being said, I want to say something that happened just a couple nights ago. Actually, last night. I was talking to this girl, and I wasn't talking to her flirting, just talking to her. She said, I want a girl best friend. And I said, sure, because I could really use more friends. Well, she was having problems with her boyfriend. Kind of like an on again, off again relationship. And she started talking about how she wanted to kill herself, but she's scared to do it. And I felt her on that. And I could tell by the way she was talking about it, she was starting out on that road. And I was like, look, you don't want to go down this road. I said, there's so much on this road that you don't know. Like, it's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna. I said, and it's hard to recover from it. It's hard to recover from it. The person you are now, like, or the person you are when you're not depressed, that person's dead. That person's gone. For sure. I know that from experience. Like, if anybody comes to me with suicide, me being a suicide victim is what I label myself, because I've pulled the trigger. And thankfully, looking back now, thankfully, my best friend, Hayden, was there that night. And he's the reason it didn't kill me. It missed me. He caused just enough of a distraction to where I wasn't paying attention and the gun slipped to the side as I pulled the trigger, and the bullet went. Didn't even nick me, it just went right past me. I don't even know if the bullet even hit anything, or if it just got so much velocity and it started slowing down and just slowly just hit the ground. I know exactly where I was standing when I pulled it. I don't know how he knew that he had to come to my house that night. He got in trouble for it by his parents, but he shouldn't have even got in trouble because he was doing what he had to do. And I will tell his mom that if I have to, if he wants me to. I will tell his mom that night he got in trouble back in March when he pulled up to my house. He was stopping me from making a mistake. A bad mistake that would have ended my life. That's why I label myself a suicide victim. But going back to this girl, I told her she didn't want to go down this road. I hope to. It sounded like she didn't want to hear that and didn't want to listen to me, but I pray to God deep down she listens to that. Because anybody else is thinking about suicide, and you're not down that road yet, please don't go down this road. You need to just stop right now and find out something that you can do to pull your, you need to pull yourself out of the depression. And you might not come out of it fully, but you need to get to a point where you can stand still on that road, metaphorically, and just get at a standpoint where you can stay and go on with your life being at least appreciating yourself decently. And then you can look back on what this has done to you and see exactly what it's done. And you won't end up like me. Like I said, that person that you were before that depression started, gone. Don't go down the road. You have no idea what depression is until you get to the end of that road. You don't want to go down the road. There's so much on that road that you have no idea what it holds for you. And it's not good. It's not good. This video went over an hour long. I still got one more to make about just talking. But yeah, like, so back to the point of this video. I think I'm back to the guy I used to be back in 9th grade because I'm thinking about Chastity and I'm thinking the same thoughts I was thinking when I was with her in 9th grade. I know I just changed completely different people now. But yeah, that I'm the guy that she fell in love with now. In a sense. Because like I said, you can never fully... The person that you were before, gone. And you can never fully go back to that person. But in a sense, I am that guy that she fell in love with a couple minor changes that shouldn't really matter. Put it that way. And Chastity, like I said, please consider it. Please talk to me about it. Talk to me about you and me getting back together. Let's have a long conversation about it. I swear I can clear some things up. I will clear whatever I can up if you have any questions. Because there has to be some sort of reason. And you told me you don't know before, but there's something... There's a reason that you're scared to tell me, obviously. It's clear that you're scared to tell me something. Or somebody told you not to tell me the reason why you don't want to get back with me. Or what they said that is the reason. Tell me, please. I'm begging you. And I'm going to try this one last time to say this. And I hope you actually get it this time. If I get you back as my girlfriend, whether we start over again or we pick up where we left off, things will get better. You mean so much to me, more than anybody else I've ever met. From the moment I was born to up until now. You're still the most important person in my life. Even though you're not fully in my life, you're still in my life because we've talked. And it hasn't been 4 years since we talked. We talked back in November. Late November. And it's only been, what, 2.5 months? Almost 3? You're still in my life. So, yeah. You're the most important person in my life. And it's not just because we dated. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. A small, really, really, really small portion of it. But the fact that what you did for me is the real reason why 95% you're the most important person in my life. You've done more for me without being my girlfriend, just as a girl that could you saw where you could do something for me and you did it. You didn't ask what's in store for you. You didn't ask what he was he going to give me something in return. You did it, and you took that, whether you got nothing out of it or whether you got something out of it. I just need you. I don't want you. I need you. And I know something. It's another theory that's been in my head. You know what? I'm just gonna get everything out in this video. I'm gonna go over the theories real quick. Theory number 2. Homecoming. 10th grade, I think. 10th or 11th grade. We were still together. After homecoming, I made a post. When me and my dad went to McDonald's after homecoming, I took a picture out the windshield and made a post about homecoming. I said, I never expected this to happen. I got to dance with some girls I didn't think I would get to dance with. I met some people I had made some friends I never thought I'd made. This, and that, blah, 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 blah. I think the part that got you was I got to dance with some girls that I didn't think I would get to dance with. And I see where how that can be a problem. But when I say dance with some girls that I never thought I would get to dance with, wasn't really dancing with them. It was kind of like we were just within close proximity of each other dancing, and we were having a conversation while dancing. Cause we weren't slow dancing with each other or anything. Cause they had people they went to homecoming with. I wanted to go homecoming with you. I didn't even want to go unless you could go with me. When I found out you couldn't go with me, I told my mom I wasn't going. I told my dad I wasn't going. My dad didn't care, but mom was like, "Oh, you're going." She went to the school, bought me a ticket, and gave it to me and said, "You're going. I'm gonna drive you to homecoming." And I said, "No, I'll go since you want me to go so bad." So I drove to homecoming. I didn't. I didn't intentionally do anything to jeopardize our relationship at that point in time. I mostly just hung around my friends who were boys the whole time. Me, Jeremiah, Chris, Jay. That's really who I hung around the whole time. Theory number 3. This come from you. You said, actually this ties into two separate reasons you gave, but I'm gonna tie them into one. You said your friends didn't want us together and your mom didn't want us together. Well, actually, 3 reasons. 3 different separate reasons, but I'm gonna tie them all into one. You said your mom didn't want us together, your friends didn't want us together, and you had school. Let me ask you this. Wasn't that a factor all along? Because I'm pretty sure it was. Because as far as I remember, your friends didn't want us together to start out with until they saw how I was treating you like a fucking queen, as much as I could at least at the time. Because like I said earlier, I couldn't do anything about wanting to do more. And I see how that sounded when I said, no, I'm not talking about anything dirty at all. I'm talking about being more of a boyfriend, like, taking her out places, just me and her, just being me and her time, basically. Not talking about anything dirty. Not sex. I don't. First of all, I'm gonna rephrase myself. I don't care about sex. I really don't. In a relationship, if the girl don't want to have sex, okay, that's fine with me. I'm never gonna ask. Like, do you want to do this? No, I'm never gonna ask. Now, yeah, every boy has a moment where they feel that certain way. But for me, it don't matter. But anyway, wasn't those three things a factor the first time and lasted for 4 years? And all of a sudden they come to where they were a problem? Because I know your mom hated me when she found out me and you were dating. Hated me. And then when she met me after we broke up this last time, it's like I was her favorite person in the world. So, your mom had a problem with me just because of the fact that I was dating you. But what was that thing we said? What was that vow we made to each other? Nobody could pull us apart. I know we said that, and I let it happen once. But how fast did I get you back? How fast did I realize I messed up? Within a week. Actually, the day after we broke up, at first I thought there was no chance in hell I was going to get you back. So I just sulked in depression and was like, and it wasn't severe as it was this last time. It was nowhere near that. It's like, okay, I'll get over it. I'm gonna sulk and just listen to sad songs, and that was helping. I didn't need alcohol. I wasn't drinking alcohol at the time. And then I made my sad emotional breakup story video, which is still on my YouTube. You'll have to go back a couple of years in my videos, but you'll find it. It has a picture of a horrible floor, cowboy boots, guitar, and cowboy hat. It's called My Sad Emotional Breakup Story. It will tell you what happened between me and her. But yeah, people had a problem with me and her dating because of age. She was born December 17th, 2003. I was born January 12th, 2002. So not that much of the age difference. She'll be 19 this year. I'm 20 this year. So technically, 1 year difference. Just bad placement. To where it's a 1 year difference in age, but it's just bad placement of our birthdays. Where mine's at the beginning of the month, or the beginning of the year. Hers is at the end of the year, and it just seems like it's more than a year. So wasn't that a factor? Theory number three. You said you weren't ready. That I can kind of believe. If you're not ready, you're not ready. No, I mean, nobody can really tell if somebody's ready to be in a relationship or not. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, she's ready," and it'd be 100% true. You can't. You can't do that. Theory number 4. This I do believe, but I don't see why this would be a problem. And I'll explain that. I'll explain why after I say why. I mean the reason. You have different dreams, or you have dreams you want to accomplish. Everybody has dreams they want to accomplish, and I'm not being pity on you by any means. But what does that have to do with us being together? Those promises we made to each other, those vows we made to each other, can still come true. But you have to come back to me. And I promise you, since you're 18, and I'm 2 years over 18, this relationship, my reaction that if you do take me back, you say, okay, I'll take you back, or however you approach me about it, the reaction that I'll have is gonna be the biggest smile I've ever smiled on my face. Every single problem gone. Doing stuff bettering myself immediately. Doing whatever you wanted me to do. Doing everything for you. Making myself committed to you and you only. And devoting all my time and money to you. And, of course, work. But all the money I'm making for work is going to go straight for you. Now, I'm not saying, I'm going to, just give you all my money. No, I'm going to spoil you, though. I'm going to spoil the hell out of you. Like, I'm going to buy you shit that you didn't even ask for, that I knew you would want. And I know that if we get back together, we have a lot of catching up to do, because it's been, hell, we broke up in 2019. It's 2022. It's a whole different ball. It's a whole different yard, whole different field. The story's changed. That was October 11th, 2019. It's February 4th. Yeah, February 4th still. I thought it was after midnight. February 4th, 2022. That's where we stand. And, Chastity, God, please let her see this. And watch all the way through. I'm gonna come out and say this, and I hope you feel what I want you to feel when I say this. Because I've said it before, and it didn't send the message I wanted it to send. I love you. I still do. Never stopped. Yeah, I dated Bailey after you. That was just rebounding. I didn't expect it to last. I didn't want it to last. I was basically trying to make you jealous. Trying to get your attention. That's just because you stopped talking to me for some reason. I didn't know why. I was trying to get your attention, trying to spark something for you to even contact me so we could at least talk about it. Because if I had any contact with you, if I could have contacted you in some type of way, being you didn't have a phone, and the only way I could contact you was Instagram messages, you said one thing that night, and it was, hey. And I texted you back and said, at the end of my break, I texted you during my break, and at the end of my break I said, hey baby, I love you. I don't know if you'll be up when I get home, so good night. I love you with all I got. Talk to you when I can. Talk to you tomorrow. Well, that next day I was off. Hunting season. I went to stay with my mom at her friend's house for the rest of that week on that Wednesday. I didn't have school. We were out that week for something. I forget. I think our school did. Everybody that went to county had. Why were we out for a week in October? Like before October or October 11th after. Please comment below so I can finish the story. But Chelsea, yeah, my mom and her friend and his grandsons, which were my best friends, all wanted me to go hunting with them. I said no. 5 a.m. in the morning. It's not just because it was 5 a.m. and I was tired. I wasn't even tired because I got this thing where when I wake up, I'm up. If I'm tired, I'm tired the whole day, unless I drink an energy drink or do something that gives me energy. Drink something that gives me energy. Take something that gives me energy. Boo, whatever. I turned them all down because I was holding on to you. Where I didn't care about anybody else, what they wanted me to do. I was only concerned about our relationship because that night you didn't text me back and didn't even see my messages. Because you know on Instagram it says seen if something if they see a message. When I opened up my phone and checked on Instagram and I didn't see where it said seen, I knew our relationship was online. That's all I gotta say. I'll make a part 2.